Frank, just first of all, tell us what DSG does.
Well, what we are showing here on the exhibition is a BagDrop solution, a retrofit BagDrop solution for existing terminals. So far we have them installed in most of Scandinavia, and we're also showing a Backend system which you can see on the wall behind me. But what we're showing is BagDrop systems for existing terminals.
So there's two facets, two parts of this display and what you're showing that you can provide. So the actual front-end system, and then we'll talk in a second about the data that you can get from the systems you had installed. Just first of all, talk about the BagDrop and how that works.
Well, the challenge in Scandinavia was that the airports in Scandinavia has not been investing in new terminals for a long time. So the challenge was to minimize the bottlenecks creating in an airport like Oslo, designed for 17 millions, having 22 now, increasing to 25 millions before Terminal 2 is coming in 2017. So the requirement from them was to minimize the waiting time in front of the check-in area. So actually the requirement was that a check-in process was not allowed to take more than 15 seconds. And that's what we have achieved up there. And then the requirements from Sweden later came with 10 seconds, all because they want to get rid of the bottleneck in this area and move it elsewhere, security or whatever.
And how do you achieve that speeder process?
Well, we have made a very neat system, so to say, where we do not ask many questions. The passenger simply comes to the check-in, looks at the screen. There is no interaction on the screen. You can choose the language, but that is it. And then we have an animation showing what you should do. Place the bag, scan the tag, that's it, and go in. And we can see that the learning curve is very good. After you have done that the first time, the second time you do it, well, a check-in takes no more than 6-7 seconds. That's it.
And the second part, as we mentioned to this, is getting data about what happens behind the system. You know, this is where the passengers don't see what's going on, but it's a hugely important part of the process.
It is. We can see now we have extensive data yet in our system with more than 1 million bags checked in at OSL, so Oslo Gardermoen. The same will be the case in Copenhagen and Helsinki. But this data is used to do an analysis of what is actually happening at the front-end system. So we have developed a back-end system where you have access to all data. We can create all kinds of statistics, but we can also do central modification configurations of the BagDrop. And let me give you an example. In Sweden, where we have delivered to Stockholm, they want a centralized database, but that can control BagDrops installed in all of Sweden, so they can do configurations in Stockholm in a BagDrop placed 1,000 kilometers north, but they can also do it locally. So this is the back-end system that we're talking about. So they get all the statistics in Stockholm, also for the airport placed far away.
And the kind of data they're getting is any failure of the process to see what can come, and that's kind of a learning process.
Well, we can see from the statistical data we have that about 90% of all sessions are successful and about 10% are not successful. That meaning that with 1 million you have 100,000 sessions that has been aborted for whatever reason. And what we do is that we make like a failed session analysis. Some of the bags are too long. They should have been taken by the floor walker, should have said that the bicycle has to go to oversize. Some of them is too heavy. Okay, we can see perhaps there is a money issue there where you can earn more money on overweight. Other issues like no license plate or whatever. So you can do a complete failure analysis of the aborted session.
And tell me, what's the feedback been like here at Passenger Terminal Expo to this?
Well, it has been excellent. I would have said it would have been a disaster for us not to be here. We have had a lot of people here, a lot of interesting leads, also a lot of existing customers where we can sell something new to. So it has been a very, very positive exhibition for us. And we're also looking forward to Barcelona next year.
I was going to say, it's one of those sort of, the quality of people here, it's that the presence is vital in terms of your year, I guess.
It is. So we started out with your exhibition in Copenhagen 2 years ago with a very small stand, only 10 square meters, no fancy thing. Then last year in Vienna, we built it up a little bit, and this year we have 36 square meters, and we'll go for the same next year. So it has been a very good exhibition for us.